Vietnam, a jungle alive with heat, insects, and death. Two snipers, invisible to each other, until one sees a spark of light so faint it shouldn't have mattered. But it did. Because in the next heartbeat, Marine sniper Carlos Hathcock will fire a shot that veterans still argue about. A shot so mathematically absurd that experts claim it borders on impossible. One bullet, one scope, one man dead before he even heard the shot. This is the true story behind the shot that shouldn't be possible. Hi, my name's Matt. Welcome to Battlefield Legends, a place where forgotten stories of war come back to life. Carlos Hathcock didn't look like a legend. Lean, soft-spoken, a man who paused before speaking, as if every word needed to count. But give him a rifle, and something changed. As a child in Arkansas, he hunted not for sport, but for food. Hours in the woods taught him stillness, silence, and the patience to wait for a target that may never appear. Those lessons would one day save his life. When Hathcock reached Vietnam, the Marines quickly realised they had someone rare. Someone who could sit unmoving for days. Someone who understood distance, wind, and instinct better than most men understood themselves. He became known as White Feather, a nickname earned from the delicate feather tucked into his boonie hat. A feather that Viet Cong could spot. A feather that dared them to try. White Feather's accuracy was crippling enemy command structures. Officers avoided open ground. Patrols refused to move in daylight. Morale plummeted. So the North Vietnamese army made a decision. They would fight a ghost with another ghost. They selected one of their finest snipers, a man known only through records as patient, methodical, and frighteningly skilled. They handed him a single order: kill the Marine with the white feather, no matter how long it takes. Rumours spread among Marines that Hathcock's head carried a bounty so large it could feed a family for years. Hathcock shrugged. If he wants me, he said, he'll have to find me first. But inside he knew the truth. This man wasn't after just any Marine. He was hunting him. The jungle changed when a sniper entered it. Hathcock felt shifts, small ones. A bird call cut short. A rustle without wind. A sense that the trees themselves were watching. His spotter began noticing flickers in the distance. Not movement, reflections. Tiny flashes that disappeared as quickly as they came. Metal, the spotter whispered. Could be anything. But both men knew what it probably was. A scope, a rifle, a hunter. Hathcock later said it felt like looking into a mirror. He moved like I moved. He waited like I waited. This duel wasn't random. It was two predators circling in the undergrowth, each waiting for the other to blink. Hathcock and his spotter moved inches at a time. A leaf brushed too loudly could end them both. The jungle smelled of damp earth, cordite, and distant burning. The smell of a country tearing itself apart. They crawled through bamboo thickets so tight they had to push their rifles ahead of them. Ants crawled under their uniforms. Mosquitoes swarmed their necks. The air felt like wet wool, heavy enough to choke. But they didn't stop. For Hathcock, staying alive meant staying calm, staying slower than fear. Then everything went quiet, unnaturally quiet. Every sense in Hathcock's body surged. The enemy sniper was close. At first he thought it was a trick of the sun, a flicker, a pinpoint of reflected light. But hunting had taught him, the forest lies, but metal doesn't. A lens, a scope, the faint glint of a man aiming directly at them. In that instant, Hathcock understood. He wasn't spotting the enemy sniper. The sniper was already aiming at his face. There was no time for doubt, no time for second shots, no time to breathe. Hathcock slowly exhaled, let his heartbeat settle, let the rifle become part of him. He fired. A single round, a single recoil, a single thunderclap swallowed by the jungle. Then, nothing. No cry, no return shot, just the stillness of a world holding its breath. They advanced carefully. Hathcock's finger hovered near his trigger. Every shadow seemed ready to strike. Then, through the brush, they saw the man. The enemy sniper lay on his back, rifle still shouldered, one eye open, the other shattered behind the glass of his scope. Hathcock's bullet had entered the front lens, travelled the length of the tube, and struck the sniper cleanly. His spotter muttered, "Dear God, you shot straight through it." Even Hathcock stared in silence. He later said, if he'd been a millimetre off, it'd have been me. When the rifle and scope were examined, the alignment was undeniable. But controversy followed. Some ballistics experts noted that for a bullet to enter a scope perfectly, the two snipers had to be aligned almost mathematically straight. A millimetre off in angle, the round would have struck their housing. A fraction of a heartbeat too early or late, and the enemy sniper would have moved. Hathcock never bragged. He simply said, "The glass was facing me. I shot at it. I got lucky." Historians classify the general event as verified, and the scope detail as a first-person account widely accepted, though debated. But none, not one, dispute the outcome. A Marine fired the most unlikely shot of the war, and lived because of it. Put yourself there, the jungle pressing in, a man somewhere ahead drawing a bead on your head, and all you have is instinct and a spark of light. Would you trust your senses? Would you fire first? Would you gamble your life on one glimmer? Hathcock did. This was the duel between two shadows, a battle fought in silence, measured in breaths, a moment where skill, instinct, and something unexplainable aligned perfectly. The shot through a scope that shouldn't have been possible, a 1 in a million act that turned Carlos Hathcock from a talented sniper into a legend whispered across generations. Because in war, you don't always get second chances. Sometimes you get one shot, and sometimes that one shot changes everything. When you're ready, continue the journey with this next story, another chapter written in courage and consequence. The battlefield never forgets, and neither do we. Until the next battle, thanks for being here.